So my oral report is on Karen Cheng, the graphic artist, not Cheng Design, the architectural company. um, so Karen Cheng got her master's degree from the University of Cincinnati in 1996, a Master of Design, after she got an honors degree in chemical engineering, of all things, from Penn State University. After she got her degree, she went to Seattle and has been on the faculty of the University of Washington since 1997. Our textbook, the layout workbook, notes her work for the Seattle Arts and Lecture Group that limited her designs to 2 colors and cheap paper. In a video available via the University of Washington website, she talked about this, and she showed the previous artwork that was used before they commissioned her. And well, it's a bunch of, before she took over, it was just a bunch of incoherently placed images and confusing type to me. And then she changed it to something that flows from one page to the next, and even from one issue to the next. And in the video, she talked about some of the color combinations. I think she mentioned the green and the pink combining to form a third color, maroon, that she liked a lot. She also wrote this book called Designing Type. It's now in its 2nd issue, and has been translated into many other issues, French, German. The German version is hardcover only and costs $100, while this version here you can get on Amazon, and it costs, I think I paid $24 for it. I ordered it last night. I'm a big fan of typography, and I like creating fonts. It's a lot of fun. This book has also been translated into Korean, but in Korean they didn't use the alphabet. They only used the marks, like question marks and stuff like that. At the University of Washington, or UW, she teaches sophomore and senior level courses based on this book. She's also famous in that area, especially for her work like the smart bins that encourages and teaches recycling and why it's important. And these are the trash bins behind the smart bins. I don't know what this guy. It looks like he's throwing away a lid for a cup. And she also designed posters, lots and lots of posters. This one here is for the the Seattle Arts Lecture Group. But on top of her work with posters, she also did some work with the Architectural College at the University of Washington, and this right here is my favorite. So at first, the Architectural College wanted to put a bunch of pennies into the already existing granite floor that spell out the word change, which kind of would have been a pun. But they discovered that drilling little holes into the already existing granite was not cost effective. It was too prohibitive, and cleaning the large granite tile was not financially feasible. So then they decided that they would take a look at mounting all those pennies onto one of the glass walls that they have there. And they really liked that idea. And on the mock-ups, it looked really nice. They did find that the glass was structurally able to hold all those pennies, the weight behind all those pennies. But then they discovered that the emergency systems would have been negatively affected in an emergency, so they scrapped it. Oh, they also discovered that cleaning was going to be a pain in the neck too, so they scrapped that idea. And they came up with a bunch of other ideas that really didn't take off until someone said, "Well, let's mount it on the floor in the elevators that were being installed." And so that's what they did. They took, as you can see in this picture here, they cut out those words, change, and all the other words surround it from the slab in the floor, and inlaid it with other stone. And it was a much easier process on the outside slab because of the size than the pennies would have been. So that's what they did. And when you open the elevator door, each word has a different each floor has a different modifier for change to make it to give it a different context, a different meaning. The final floor on the top, the elevator opens to the other side, and there's two elevators. So when one of them opens up, instead of the modifier being in front, it's the modifier at the end, and it's just a question mark or an exclamation mark. So it's, you open one, it says change, and when you open the other, it says change. It's really incredibly inspirational, I think. Something else that she's noted for is for her work in teaching scientists how to create visuals for their reports, and how to use effective typography in their reports to make them more readable and understandable. Now, she does have a degree in chemical engineering, so she knows what she's talking about when it comes to those reports. The final thing that I'm going to talk about is her essays. She wrote a lot of essays, mostly humorous, and I've read one or two of them, and they were pretty funny. But this one right here, I think was the best. It's called "How to Survive a Critique: A Guide to Giving and Receiving Feedback," and I will link to that in the description of this YouTube video. And that's it. That's my oral report. My next one will be in class, like y'all did yours. Thanks.